Hello, hello. You know what day of the week it is, baby. It's Thursday. We out here talking that tech. It's me, Deron. I got my boy Chris with me.
What up? What up?
And I got a very special guest tonight. I'm very excited for him to be here. He's the OG of the OG. Let's be honest. It's my man CJ, Crazy J.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing tonight, brother?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me here on the show. It's freaking awesome that you and Chris started this. I've been watching every episode, so it's just awesome to see how far, all of this has come, and I'm just glad to be here, so thank you.
He's just saying it's awesome to see how old we are now.
Yeah.
Reminiscing down paths and thinking about fond memories that we've had within the FGC and
Yeah.
so I always kind of start these off the same way because the viewers know us. We're here every other week. They know what we deliver, what we bring. So I always love to get kind of an intro and a backstory on like our guests. So I say the OG of the OG because
Yeah.
as long as I've known CJ, he's been playing games and he's
Yeah.
been kicking ass in said games. So kind of give us a backstory on, where you kind of started at, how you ended up here. We got time, so kick back, relax.
All right.
Floor is
All
yours,
right.
sir.
All right. So, as you know, my name is Crazy J. I've been, gosh, like you said, I've been playing fighting games forever. What really got me into fighting games before I actually, talk about what we are now, there was an old arcade here in Colorado called Boardwalk USA. And yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about, Chris. Maybe you, Duran, as well. But you used to pay $10 and you played all day. And they had everything. They had Fatal Fury. They had all types of games, Mortal Kombat and whatnot. And I happened to see a game called Street Fighter, and not Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter. And this version happened to have yes, this version didn't have the big buttons like the other one. This one actually had a 6-button layout. So it had, at the time, short. It would be jab, strong, fierce, short for roundhouse is what it was. That's what it was called.
Let's give backstory on what he means by the big buttons. So like when Street Fighter 1 first came out, it had like pressure sensitive buttons.
Yeah.
And almost any time you played on them, the shits were broken. They didn't work. So
Yeah.
for people that don't know, Street Fighter used to be not 6 buttons how it is. So just giving backstory to the people that don't know original
Yeah.
Street Fighter. That's why I was making those faces, because that game was not good. So
Right. Well, I don't know what it was, but I started playing this game, and it was just fun. And like how Ryu, you have Ken, but then you're fighting all these older players like Adon and Sagat, and then Mike, who's not in a Street Fighter game, and then you have Eagle, and then Geki, and then basically, I liked the game, and I was like, this is really, really cool. And at that time, you never know, like, hey, what other games are going to come out? Fast forward to 1991, Street Fighter 2 comes out. And you're like, well, shit, this is really cool. This is where you got to see this game everywhere. You're talking Boardwalk USA. You're talking at the mall. You're talking at 7-Elevens. You're talking at gas stations. Literally everywhere Street Fighter 2 was the game. So I get my ass whooped. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just a young buck. And I'm like, what the hell is this game? Like, there's all these buttons, and I'm trying to move around. I can move back and forth, and then I couldn't time my jumps and stuff. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I could do this. I could play this game. And then I go home to Kansas, and I'm staying with my stepdad. And it just so happens that at that time, Street Fighter 2 came out on SNES. And there was a tournament at not Boardwalk, I'm sorry, Blockbuster Video. Yeah, for like I said, all you young people don't even know what the hell we're talking about right
So
now.
so far we
they
on
don't know.
2
Yeah.
for out of business franchises so far. So far we got Boardwalk USA and we got
Yep.
Blockbuster. Let's see how many we can get
Yep.
by the end of the episode.
So there's a tournament, and what happened is that they took. It was a different format. So what they did was they took the top people who had the highest score against the computer. Well, I happened to find out a cheap way to do it with Guile, and I actually ended up with over 1 million points. So I was like, all right, cool. So I entered this tournament, and as a matter of fact, I still have the original bracket from that tournament back when I was 15 years old. I still have it. Yeah, my very first tournament. I still have my very first bracket. So I go through. I beat all these people, and then I lose to this guy. And I was like, well, shit. And I'd never been in a tournament setting before. This is my first tournament, like, ever. And it's funny because since it was my first tournament, I wasn't really nervous. I was just like, all right, here, let me just go ahead and play. And I ended up winning the tournament, believe it or not, with Guile. That was my first character that I used in Street Fighter in a tournament to win. Believe it or not, James Goddard was actually there as well. For you people that don't know, he works for Rare. He was behind KI and some of the other games and Street Fighter 2 when he worked for Capcom. And at that time, again, Street Fighter 2 Super Nintendo. After the tournament, he gathers us all around. He's like, hey, I got something for you. Freaking bust out the freaking beta version of freaking Street Fighter 2 Turbo Champion Edition at that time on SNES. Everyone goes nuts. We got to sit there and play for like an hour. We got to get all this extra stuff. I got to meet him again, signature autograph at that point. But then after that tournament, I told myself, I was like, you know what? I like fighting games. I like the adrenaline of being able to play against somebody else and just beat the shit out of them if I can. You know what I mean? But the thing is, and a lot of people don't realize this with fighting games, it's like chess, right? It's like there's so much mental that goes into it, and a lot of people don't understand it unless they actually play it, right? Yeah. You have setups, you have frame traps, you have frame advantages and disadvantages, you have character matchups. You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into play, and I think the reason I enjoy it so much is because sometimes it can be very hard in order to do the things that you want to do because there's execution errors, Capcom input errors. I'll just say it, like frames fucking staying out there for like 60 frames and shit. Yeah, shit happens, right? But that's the beauty of it. It's like you never know what could go wrong, and you never know sometimes what could go right. And it's just one of those things where I love to be competitive. I love to have fun. I like to talk shit here and there. Like, I really don't talk a lot of shit, but I don't. I really don't talk a lot of shit, but there's times back in my Soul Calibur days and Tekken days, I would talk some shit. I'm not going to lie. During my Tekken Tag days, I would talk some shit and people were talking shit to me. So, but that's basically how I got into fighting games, and I love it. I don't think I'll ever stop playing fighting games. There's just something about it that just makes it different compared to every other genre out there. And, you have like first person shooters, right? But I'm not disrespecting them at all, right? But there's a different strategy involved when it comes to that. But people really don't know how in-depth a fighting game really is. And I mean, perfect example, we're getting Bison tonight. We're going to have to learn setups and frame data and all types. It's it's like a new game again. So,
yeah, I mean, that's the same thing as seasons. I mean, like, you didn't even speak on like I think the most important thing, because you spoke about like frame traps and advantages and disadvantages, and like I think the hardest hurdle for people to get over is execution. Yeah, because you're like, people quit because of how hard it is to even get to that point.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Frame traps and all, and that's why like I tell people, I'm like, when people first start playing, they always have it's always like the same two questions, like, what do you play on? Because that's the new thing. Like, back then you just played on an arcade stick, that was it. I mean, every once in a while you meet somebody that played on pad or whatever, but like for the most part it was arcade stick. And now it's like leverless arcade stick, pad. I've seen Guitar Hero, I've seen Gran Turismo wheels. I mean, you've seen
dance
everything.
Pads.
Yeah, dance pads
and shit. Yeah, keyboards.
And now it's like, play whatever you're comfortable on.
Yep. And
then the second thing is, they like, for whatever reason, new people to games love tier lists. And they're like, who should I play and why should I play them? And I always tell everybody the same thing. Play on what you want and play who you want. Because I am a strong believer in, if you are going to play better, if you have general interest in the character. Like, yes, there are top tiers and you can Sanford Kelly the shit out of it and play a top tier. But like, I am a character loyalist, even through the good and the bad. And I feel like everybody in here is that same way. Like, because like I didn't even know you played Guile. First of all,
Right. A lot of when I tell people that, they don't know.
because you're always been Geef and Ryu. That's always like
Yeah.
that's the CJ way, Geef and Ryu. And I'm
Yep.
sure I'm sure you're sitting there just drooling at the mouth right now because Geef in season 2 has been.
Man, I tell you what, just giving this man headbutt to hell stab. Thank you, Capcom. Thank you.
Yeah, nerf
Thank
him.
you, Capcom.
Nerf him.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
hell no.
nerf him.
Oh, no. Just
Broken.
buff everybody else.
Broken.
He's not
Nah,
broken.
you
He's
didn't
not
broken. Broken. Top 1.
I mean, you would say not broken. I would also say that as well when both of my characters got nothing but buffs for season 2.
Yeah, Jury got buffed.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, Jury got tweaks. Ryu and Geef got buffs, dog.
Yeah, they over here talking about Ryu top shoulder right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I will agree with that. But Geef, okay.
Top 1 broken. Gotta nerf
not to
him.
derail anything, but Phenom said that Geef was top 5, and I guess that Wong and some other people are saying that Geef is top 5. I don't think Geef is top 5.
Top 1.
Well, Phenom
Nerf
also
him.
downplays Ken, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest. I'll be for real here. I didn't see Geef didn't get all Geef is now making you do. He's making you like guess a bit more, and that's it. Like I personally haven't seen. Like I'm all of a sudden I'm not losing to Geef all of a sudden.
Right, that's the thing.
It's
but
just
everybody's
now-
like, oh yeah, he's like top so. But the thing is, this Geef, his drive rush pressure, that's the biggest thing, is that he can eat up your drive gauge. Like a whole standing fierce is like a bar and a half. It's something ridiculous. And then standing medium kick is half a bar when you block it. And I'm like, that's what needs to happen. So
yeah. That's
Again,
what
thank you,
that's what
Capcom.
like I put Geef in the same tier as like Akuma as far as type of character where you have to be very careful with how you tweak them.
Yeah.
Because they're either good or they're not. Like there is no in between, I feel like.
Right.
But I will say I think they did a good job with Geef because like what Chris was saying, I don't feel like you're playing Geef and going, oh, I'm losing so many matchups now because of what they gave him. Like
Right.
he just
Yeah.
feels like a fair character now. Like
I wouldn't say
better
fair.
balance.
I wouldn't say fair.
Yeah, it does make me feel like I actually have a character in the game, and that not every match is a losing matchup. Lily is still a difficult matchup. I will say that. Dawson is
Which
a hard
is so
matchup.
funny.
Yeah.
Lily
It
is so
basically
stupid.
it feels like they just gave Geef offense basically. Like because
Good.
he still has the same issues on defense that he always had. He gets rushed down for free until level 2, and then even with level 2 it's 18 frames. So the match didn't change. It's just now when he's in, you have to guess more. Before I was just chilling and I'm mashing back dash, and there wasn't much you have to kind of hard call it out and spend meter to do so. Now I have to guess when I catch a fierce. Is he gonna try to go for SPD or is he gonna go for Hellstab? What do I want to try to take?
We also didn't feel like Geef, to be honest. Like Street Fighter 6 Geef, you could fight him different than any other Geef because like he didn't have
Right.
the threat of the SPD being super quick kind of thing, and like
Right.
you could just rush him down, and that's really weird to say against a Geef
Yeah.
because normally you play against Geef and you're like,
Right. That's the thing. When I first started playing this game, I was like, man, every fucking character in the game is rushing me down because you all have fucking drive rush.
Yeah.
So everyone's fucking running at me,
Yep.
and I'm like, I can't do shit except this.
Yeah, that's why I'm like. That's partly why I'm like. I know people. Like I think Geef. I mean, I personally think a grappler should never be top tier, so I'm okay with that. But I think people are
Grappler should be top tier.
no
For once.
grapple no
One
no
game.
no thank you
One game.
no
One game.
It's already happened. And what happened? No one like Abigail is top tier. What? Ugh.
He doesn't count.
Street
He
Fighter
doesn't
4.
count.
Geef was top tier in Street Fighter 4. What about that? Yeah.
Who-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a yeah. No.
I
We
hate
don't
Street
need
Fighter
that.
5, so that's not even a game. Fuck Street Fighter
We don't-
5 anyhow.
We don't need that. No one needs that.
Anyhow.
No one needs that in life.
all right.
This is the life you
So-
chose.
Question, because I think you're one of our first guests on here that like dabbles in things that aren't just Street Fighter. I mean, we had JV who does like Smash, but like I feel like Smash is like a completely different kind of side of the FGC.
Yeah.
So, because I know you're a huge Soul Calibur fan.
Oh, favorite
So,
game. Favorite series.
You've been a gamer your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done? Anything else? What other games do you enjoy? Like, give us kind of background on stuff that isn't just Street Fighter related, because you know that's what we're here for. It's not just SF stuff. So
any game?
yeah,
Like any
absolutely. I
game.
mean, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Like, the best
So-
thing about Moonmarauders, what people don't get to, is like Yes, we are FGC focused,
Yeah.
but like I think what's unique about us compared to other discords is like
Yeah.
we are just a discord for gamers and we
Nice.
specialize in things. So like people are really excited for Diablo, so we focused on Diablo for a while and Diablo
Yeah.
4 kind of came out and it was just kind of okay. And I think we lost some steam in that, but like people are loving Street Fighter, so we're still putting a ton of time and effort into that. And like I would love to expand into Tekken as well, but like I'm super thin, so if we're gonna do Tekken, we have to get more people in and more
Yeah.
support to do it, kind
Yep.
of thing. So the floor is yours. What
All right.
game do you enjoy? Outside of just Street Fighter or Soul Calibur, or
So,
why you love Soul Calibur?
all right. So the biggest thing that I really love about Soul Calibur is the movement. I don't think there's any game out there that moves as fluid as Soul Calibur does when it comes to the 8-way run system. The only other game that may come to mind would be DOA. But one day I was just playing Soul Edge and I looked and I was like, ooh, a game of weapons. This is really, really cool. And then all of a sudden I lost my weapon because that was old school Soul Edge. You could lose your weapon. But then I saw Soul Calibur and I was like, oh shit, this is really, really cool. And then, believe it or not, and this is going to be a shock to everybody else too, I actually, when I first started, I was not an Ivy player.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm
I'm gonna
just
guess. I'm
learning
gonna
so
guess.
much
You were
tonight.
playing Maxi. I don't
No,
know.
I played a little bit of Maxi here and there. I played Zhanghua quite a bit. Yeah, shocker, right? I used to play a lot of Zhanghua. Something hit me to where I was like, yo, this character with this sword whip at this time was like, wow, this is really cool. This is some of the coolest shit I ever seen in a fighting game. Let me go ahead and start playing Ivy. So here I am from 1999 up until 2024 playing Ivy. I started playing her, never looked back. Calibur has done a lot for me. I traveled quite a bit for Soul Calibur. I actually entered a Soul Calibur 2 Nationals tournament that took place in Vegas. That's where I met Eris and I met quite a few other people. One of those people happened to be someone who's no longer here. Rest in peace, Flo. That's where I met Flo for the first time. I came across Kage. I came across Spencer. I also met Jason Arney through, he used to work at Namco. I met him as well. So Soul Calibur has really done a lot. And, that's when the internet started picking up steam because, back then when you had internet, you were like filthy rich, right? Like you had to be rich to have internet. But then it started to pick up more steam and then message boards and IRC and Alta Vista and all this other shit. See, again, you young kids don't know about the IRC. You don't know about that.
Just came back from Jazzy Finale. All the people that we talked to each other over IRC for years, and like, if they didn't come, come some of them, like this is the first time we ever met in person. We were talking over 20 years.
Yep. So there's the third one that was out of business that you were talking about, Chris. You said how many can we hit? That's 3 right now. So, but then all these tournaments start popping up and arcades. So this is back when arcades would used to get games like within the first week of release or like on day one. It's like, wow, Soul Calibur 2 is out here in California. When's Colorado going to get it? You know what I mean? And when I saw that Soul Calibur 2 hit the arcade, bruh, the amount of time I put into that game in the arcade, anytime I was not working, I was playing Soul Calibur. Doesn't matter. I was like, look, I got to play this game. I got to play Soul Calibur. So that's one of my favorite games. It is my favorite fighting game series of all time. Another fighting game I will talk about has to be one of the most difficult fighting games ever to grace the earth. A lot of people don't like this game because of it, and they figured that it's boring. I'm a big fan of Virtua Fighter. Huge fan. Massive fan. I play Akira. Again, hardest character to play in the game. I just love playing difficult characters. I don't care what the challenge is. I don't care what the matchup is like. I like playing difficult characters. I love it because I guess there's something that's really satisfactory when you take a character that is hard to play. And again, you just beat the shit out of someone or they're low tier and you beat this person that's like playing Luke or some shit like in Street Fighter. I'm going to go back and I'm playing Geef and you beat their ass. There's just something about that I really like. But Virtua Fighter is a game that either you hate it or you like it. There's no in between. I think that game is easily the hardest game to master. There's so much in depth with that game. And I think that's why a lot of people really just put it down. But again, that's one of my favorite fighting games. Now, outside of fighting games, man, this is tough. Why you put me on the spot like this? This one is tough.
I didn't put anybody on the spot because I gave this man these questions before we started.
Yeah, I know you did. But still, one of the games that I really like to play outside of fighting games. Well, right now I still haven't beaten it. I love Stellar Blade. I love Stellar Blade.
Yeah, I bought it.
You haven't started it?
Yeah, I haven't, dude. I don't play a lot of games. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much work I do, and like that's not me being like, oh, I'm just busy all the time. It's like I work and I'm doing freelance design stuff as well, and doing moonmarauders stuff, and then when I'm not playing, I'm usually like just watching TV, watching YouTube stuff, kind of thing. I, honest to God, most of the time when I'm playing a game, it's Street Fighter, and when I'm playing, it's usually Thursdays for community night.
Gotcha.
That's about it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
but I'm a big fan of Stellar Blade. I think the game is awesome. That's one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of the Uncharted series. I played all the Uncharted series, man. If anybody has never played Uncharted, please get the Nathan Drake collection, then get Uncharted 4. Play that game. You will not regret it. It's so fun.
Wait, Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider is great too. Like I did play all the new Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
I played the first one, the definitive edition, and I loved it. And then I played a little bit of that would have been Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
is that the second one?
Yeah.
And then the third one, I forgot what it's called. But I enjoy Tomb Raider. I think that Tomb Raider is great. Believe it or not, one of my favorite games. And I want to play people in this. If you play this, please play with me. I'm a huge fan of Puzzle Fighter. I'm a huge fan of Puzzle Fighter. Someone please play with me, please. I like puzzle games. I like Lumines, the game that released on PSP, and then they put it on everything else. I love puzzle games. I do. Except Tetris. I will not play Tetris. There's a reason why I suck at Tetris. I suck at Tetris so bad. Like, I can see all the shapes and shit, but my brain cannot compute how fast people could be like, oh, here, let me put it here, let me put it here, let me put it here, let me put it. And it's just too fast. But then people say the same shit about us in fighting games, though.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny because I thought there would be more overlap. Like, I don't know if anyone knows, but James Chin actually does commentary for Tetris like tournaments.
The Grandmaster, the Grandmaster Tetris.
I did not know that. I'm over here scrolling on TikTok, and then I see Tetris clip pop up, and I hear James Chin. I'm like, that sounds like James Chin.
Yep.
And then I hear him say something James Chin, like I'm like, that is definitely James Chin. It is like commentating Tetris.
This freaking crazy, man. It's a great game. As always, I love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Speaking of which, Metal Gear is why I can't forgive RE1 for playing so trash, because I played Metal Gear. I played Metal Gear 2. All right. I played that on PS2, and then
go back and play Metal Gear Solid 1, and I think you'll feel the same way now.
I've played, but that's the thing. No,
MGS 1 has not aged well as far as the controls.
I don't know 1.
MGS 1 is my favorite.
But I played
game
2,
by the way.
and I didn't have the complaints I had.
Than most others, though.
I think Resident Evil 1 remastered still plays well. Now I don't play on tank controls or any of that shit. So if you're on tank controls, I completely get it. But like MGS 1 is amazing, but like, bro, there's some boss fights where like I remember you're fighting Ocelot, and it's that top-down view, and Homeboy's like strapped to the C4.
Yeah.
You can't see where you're going, so you're just trying to like blind firing, and it's not good. So I mean, it's didn't
I haven't
age.
tried that. I just played on whatever default controls were for RE1, but yeah, all I know is my man had to hit a stand, so he's just.
Yeah, and that's you don't even get to understand how revolutionary it was when we got a Resident Evil and you could walk and shoot. Because that's all of them. All of them were like stationary, and the only thing you had was like a quick turn. And you're like, bro, I want to walk.
No. You didn't even have a quick turn in RE1. Your character was just like.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
Now I get it, but like I grew up on Resident Evil, so like RE1 is my favorite RE, even though the remakes are fantastic. completely
Yeah,
love them.
Yeah, like I said, I'll play it when that remake drops, but I'm not
tell
playing.
you
I'm not
what.
attempting none of them old games no more, bro. That felt bad. Me and
If
Morgan
they
were here, and
remake,
she was like, you gonna try one more time?" I was like, "Nah." She's like, "Good."
damn.
So
She
just a
said good.
correction that we had earlier. It goes Tomb Raider and then Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Rise
I
of the
know how
Tomb
the
Raider.
internet is, and I don't want to have no actualies in the comments.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So my bad. One game honorable mention. This is another Konami game. It got 2 games. I wish it got a third. I'm a massive fan of Zone of the Enders.
Yes, Zone of the Enders is
Ooh,
great. Second
yes.
Rudder is one of the most slept on
Massive.
games, bro.
I actually
It
haven't
was
played that.
so
I haven't
good.
played second. I have only played the first one.
Bro, go play Second
didn't
Rudder.
play-
It is so
No, I
good.
didn't.
You didn't play Anubis, bruh.
No, I only played the first one.
Bro, they
Man.
have to make
And I don't,
cutscenes throughout it.
I don't
It's so
dislike mech
sick.
games, but
Yeah.
mech games are normally not like they're not like my thing. But Zone of the Enders
Yeah,
was
Zone of the Enders, and then that one had Vic Viper in it too from Gradius, dog. I'm just gonna be quiet. So yeah, just play the game. It's freaking amazing. So those are just some of my favorite games that I like to play and dabble in and whatnot. And right now I'm playing a lot of Diablo 4. Shout outs to my girlfriend for gifting it to me. And I did not expect to play this game, and now it's the game I play more than anything. And because of it, I haven't played Street Fighter in 2 weeks, and I'm going to start playing Street Fighter tonight because of M. Bison. So thank you.
I'm surprised he hasn't brought up one game. And I know what's going to happen when I bring up said game. And that game starts with an O and it ends with a Overwatch.
Oh,
For y'all that don't know,
you gotta nah because it depends on when you talk to him. Depends on when you talk to him on if he hates it or not, on if he likes it or not.
Okay, here I'll break it down. Okay, Overwatch, great characters, fantastic abilities and shit. Right? That game is ass. Okay, Overwatch 2 is ass. Okay, now you fucked up because now you're going to hear me rant for 2 minutes.
I love Overwatch. Let me give you guys backstory on this. CJ used to stream Overwatch a ton. So
Yeah.
I will agree with what he's going to say in the sense that I don't play Overwatch competitively.
No.
I play Overwatch for fun. If you go and look at my time, all I play is quick play. I think I've done placement matches and that was it, and like ranked. And outside of that, I could not play that game at a competitive level because Blizzard does not know how to balance games.
Yeah, and
So when you're playing at a competitive level, completely different game. If you're just playing for fun, amazing game. Especially if you're playing with friends and stuff like that, amazing game.
Yep.
He used to play competitively and stream it all the time, so I get his animosity towards the game. But I had to bring it up. I had to.
If you guys think that Capcom doesn't know how to balance games, play Overwatch. Holy fuck. I know it's not the same genre, but Jesus, man. Okay.
Old metas, bro. For like
there was a
Goats,
character.
how long was Goats?
Goats was like a year and a half.
Yeah, it was awful, dude. Like
It was like a year
literally
and a half.
ruined the game.
Like 3 supports. Okay, and what first-person shooter game where you have people that actually have guns and shooting? Did you not pick them because of Goats? You picked 3 tanks and 3 supports.
Yeah.
Not a DPS in sight.
And then we had people complain that they went to a 2-2-2 format. And I'm like, bro, do you guys not fucking remember and how awful this shit was?
Right. Like, it was so bad. And then it went dive. Then it went to fucking...
At least dive you can adjust and play the game and try to counter dive. Goats was just like, bro, I'm telling you, the downfall of Overwatch was when Brigitte came out.
That's... Okay. You touched on what I was about to say.
Her and Ball all came out at the same time, and it was just like, what the hell are you guys doing with this game?
When a character is a support, mind you, okay? I am a big Russian tank with a fucking laser beam, okay? If you can outduel me, which you could, bruh, I almost quit. I almost quit right then and there. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way
you had supports that could CC. Like, when you could CC as a support and stun lock people, and the problem was that she came out and it made people think that they were good at the game. And I'm like, you're not good. This character is just broken.
Broken as hell. Like, oh, man, that... and fucking double sniper.
Should have picked the top tier.
Yeah.
Double sniper.
Because the problem is you could pick a top tier and there's not shit you could do about it.
I couldn't. Like, I picked
So if
one
you
of the
guys
best takes in
complain
the
about
game.
FGC top tiers, at least it's one matchup.
Right.
Like, you didn't have to fight entire comps of craziness and shit everywhere.
Right. Agreed. And the problem with a game like Overwatch is that when you win, it's all, you know, hey, I did this, I did that, everything's cool. When you lose,
It's never your fault. Yeah, it's never your fault. But I feel like it circles back to fighting games because I honest to God think that is like one of the biggest reasons people don't play fighting games is because when you go and play a fighting game and you lose, you can't blame anybody but yourself.
exactly.
People have
funny.
a hard time accepting that.
And that's funny because that's
mean,
why I play fighting games. That's why I don't
Right.
play any RTS or other games because I don't want a loss
You don't want
to be
that
on
shit.
me or a loss to be on them. Like fighting games is all me. Either there was a fuck
win
up
or you
somewhere,
lose.
but it's all if one it's me. If I lost, hopefully it's me. Maybe it's them. Something, but I can't blame it. It's me or the game. It's one or the other. It's not
Exactly.
this nigga didn't do his job. And I like that's I don't want anything to do with that where it's like you didn't fill the lane correctly. Now we out millions or something.
It's
There's
toxic,
a reason I don't play
man.
League of Legends, bro.
Oh no.
I just started the game too late and I started playing. Brittany and I started playing it, and it was like we had some buddies that we were trying to we were learning this game, got the game down like to a bare minimum, like we kind of knew what we were doing, and they were like, "You're not ready to play still." So we were like, "Oh, okay, cool." So we just didn't play this shit. Like we just stopped playing the game.
Yeah, good. That's a good thing though, man, because the toxicity between Overwatch and you heard many streams that I have done.
Yep. Yeah.
And heard many words that have been said.
Like I've never played
And not
Overwatch,
by
but I've
me.
watched you stream, and that's
It's my favorite because CJ's pretty humble. Like let's be honest, but like you get him on Overwatch and it's entertainment.
It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right?
Yep.
It's like, hey, how you doing? Fuck you, you motherfucker! You suck. But no, I never really went to that point. But
All right, let's get back on track. I had to bring it up. That's on me. So you took a break for a few years from like competitively playing fighters.
Yeah.
Why? Like, do you feel like it was just a dry spot? I feel like a lot of people. This is gonna sound so bad because I'm not trying to like harp and just rip one fucking game, but I feel like Street Fighter V kind of killed the FGC for a little bit. Because I feel like the highest level players were still playing it, but like, bro, you go to locals, and Street Fighter always like pulls good numbers, always.
Yeah.
And then like you go and like when 5 was out, and it was like tumbleweeds rolling.
crickets. All right, so I'll break it down for you. Yeah, I hated Street Fighter V. I thought it was complete trash at launch. I thought it was complete trash at the in the middle. None of the characters really interest me. The art style was ass. The controls were ass to me, and I just didn't have fun playing the game. Granted, I did play Geef, but still, I mean, I even played a little bit of Ryu, and I just thought that the game was just pretty dry to me, And then you have these mechanics. People were complaining about Drive Rush, but then let's go ahead and bring up what was it, V Trigger?
V Trigger. That's why everybody complains about Drive Impact, and it makes me laugh. And I'm like, oh, so you didn't play Street Fighter 4 and 5?
Right. I'm like
we gonna act like FADC wasn't a goddamn thing.
Right. Let's talk about Laura V Trigger, please. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
And
It's
how
like, at least you can
she's
punish a
here,
parry.
and now she's here. Like let's talk about that. And I just think that Street Fighter V really left a bad taste in my mouth. I actually stopped playing the game the moment Akuma came out.
Yeah.
And that
I
tells
always
you
say
something.
people want Akuma, and I'm like, be careful what you wish for, man. Because that character is always crazy, dude. Always.
Right. He's crazy in 6, but in 5, I just really didn't feel it. And then, mentally I was going through some things. I was going through a bad breakup at the time, and then I started playing Overwatch, which was even a bigger mistake. I should have just played Street Fighter 5.
So I started playing Overwatch. Dun, dun.
Right. I was like, Jesus Christ, why? But I really think that because when did Street Fighter 5 officially? That was like in the middle of COVID and shit. That was another thing.
I
Honestly,
moved to Texas.
I was done by that time, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved to Texas almost 8 years ago, and
Yeah.
it came out right before I moved. So
Yeah.
9 years ago now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And then I just didn't have fun playing the game. And then when Luke came out, it made it even worse.
this
I
is
was
so
like,
funny.
holy shit,
This
man.
is so funny to me. I was done. Like, honestly, I personally didn't have the animosity a lot of people have for 5. I thought it was okay. But
Yeah.
the problem was
No, I
that
agree.
we
I
were
don't
getting a
think Street
lot
Fighter
of
5 is bad.
games that were like, no, these
Yeah.
games are good. We got Dragon Ball and Under
Yeah.
Night and Guilty
Yep.
Gear and the
Right.
first Grand Blue. And I was
Yep.
like, why would I play this okay
Yep.
game when I have these games that are, I think are genuinely
Facts.
good? So by
I
that
agree.
time, honestly, by the time we got all those characters, Seth and
It was like
Lucian
Seth
and
Lu-
Falk and
Luke
all
and
them.
Falk, yeah.
By the time they came out, I had already been done. So like, I'm watching like Capcom Cup because you know it's on and you want to see what's up. And I'm like, I don't know who half these characters are. Akira's in the game and she can call
Right.
Daigo and and I was like, what? And she's doing
Right.
rival school combos and she's off the screen.
Yeah, and I don't know what they really had for a vision in that game. It's like they were lost with Street Fighter V. They tried to execute this online atmosphere, and it just didn't work. Fast forward now, though, and you have like rollback in the way that it is how you can switch. I'm glad that Street Fighter V doesn't exist. Fuck training mode stage, okay? Fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it right now. Every fucking Capcom Cup to the point where they're telling you
Oh,
not
my
to pick it,
goodness.
that tells you something. That you can't pick this stage. Every other tournament that was a local or any other event that wasn't a Capcom Cup event, training stage, the music all day, training stage, training stage, training stage. I'm like, I'm tired of looking at fucking cubes and squares all fucking day. Like, give me something else.
I
Like,
just want to know who stepped on your lawn, CJ.
I'm old, man. I'm almost 47. Everyone steps on my lawn, dog.
Very angry.
Like, I just don't like Street Fighter 5. I didn't. I mean, there were some cool characters. Like, I thought that, what was his name? The G? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. You know, Abraham Lincoln looking ass. I thought he was cool. But I want Rolento. Rolento wasn't in 5. Rolento's not going to be in
Bro,
6.
Don't even get me started on. fucking
Yeah,
5
what's up?
DLC.
What's
Like,
up?
I waited. So I played
And
that game
Abigail.
since launch, and like, I waited every season for them to drop one fucking character that I liked. I played Karen and Chun the entire 7 or 8
Yep.
years it was out, and it was just like every season they were getting nerfed. It was just like it was so tiring, and it's not like I have friends where they're waiting on one character in Street Fighter 5, and it's like I wasn't even waiting on one character. I was waiting on like 7 or 8, and none of them came, and it was just like, okay, I'm done. Like,
Right.
it is what it is. So I
Yeah.
literally only played it on Fridays with a buddy of mine, and like that was it. And like I was just done, man.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because I hated Rashid in 5. I think he's cool in 6.
I think 6 has done that in general though, because like know
Yeah.
me, I have always hated Geef, always, and like Geef in 6. I love him because he's a wrestler. Like that's what
Right.
I wanted him to be. Like this dude's all about like Russian wrestling and all this stuff, and like they actually gave him wrestling moves in 6, and it's just like this is what he should have been the whole goddamn time.
Exactly. It's like Ed. I hated Ed in 5. I think Ed is a badass in 6.
Yeah.
I think he's a
I
really
actually
fucking
liked
cool
that. I
character.
liked Ed in 5. He just felt unfinished.
I'm just tired of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1,
Like
2, 3.
Ed
1,
had
2, 3.
some
I'm like,
had
man,
fun
nah.
combos in 5, but they had legit his B and Bs wouldn't work at certain distances, and that like I was like, oh, this character's definitely not finished. But I actually liked Ed a little bit in 5.
Not finished character. Hey, you haven't played Zangief for 20 fucking years. Trust me. There you go.
Again, you this is the life you chose. You know, like at this point,
Yeah,
that's the life you
and
chose. Like
is.
I used to be like, man, I feel bad for Geef players that are grapplers, but then I'm like, no, they know it. This is what they choose. They chose this life. They
you're
know
right.
I'm gonna be doing this. I'm walking and blocking, walking and blocking, and I'm hoping I get a hit, and then I'm hoping that I just make you guess wrong, like
Yeah,
2-3
you're right.
times.
You're right. But then, life just really took a bad turn for me in the worst in 2019. My mom passed away. So that really put a damper on things, and I went into a deep, dark spiral with some things because a few months later, I broke my ankle. So that really, really, really put me it put me into a spot where I thought I would never ever be. And I'm just going to be honest, and I'm just going to say this, guys. There's no shame in getting help when you are to that point. Talk to someone, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, reach out to a therapist. I thought in a million years, I thought I would never ever be seeing a therapist. I see my therapist every 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, I see them tomorrow. But I wanted to bring that up, and I know that's a little bit derailing everything, but if you're ever in a position to where you do need to reach out, just know that you're not alone, and reach out to someone.
Yeah, mental health is huge, and I feel like it's severely downplayed.
And it is Men's Mental Health Month as well as Pride Month, so it is also Men's Mental Health Month. So if you if you got insurance, if you got a job, you probably, I know how it is. I was the same way. If you're younger, if you're in your 20s, and you're like, well, why are they gonna take my money out my check for? You don't get insurance and everything, and I get that. I did that too. But look at your insurance. Look at that open enrollment. It's probably gonna be like $30-$40 if you're single, and you help yourself out.
It's worth it. Yeah, please.
I completely agree.
Please do.
Because I didn't do that until I was in my 30s, and I was like, man, I could have been getting, could have been helped. Me personally, I've been ADHD diagnosed since I was 6, and I was ignoring it, didn't do meds, everything else, and then you start as an adult, start getting some help. You're like, man, I've been living my life like this. This is how regular people remember things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's scary, but I mean that's what it's like, and that's I think the hardest thing for people to accept is it's like first it's getting the help, but then second it's like being okay with accepting it and being like, just because you're on meds or you're doing something different doesn't make you any worse of a person. Like it really doesn't. That's what they're there for. I have asthma. Like imagine if I don't take my inhaler. Like it's just not gonna go well.
Honestly,
kind of thing.
Think of it as anyone out there. Think of it as optimizing your setup. Like why you are playing with a handicap and you don't have to. So
there have been times in which, I've gone down a dark path, not to that extent, but I've had some bad things happen and some bad thoughts on that as well. And if it wasn't for my therapist and my kids, especially, I don't know where I would be. I don't know where. So,
yeah, and I think we have that very open door policy even within Moon Marauders. That's what we're there for. I know we have like older demographic for the most part in our community, but like it is literally built for everybody, and we want it to be a place for people just to come and have fun and play games and not feel the pressure of everyday shit. And that's, if you guys ever need help, please reach out to one of us. Yep. The Guardians are always there. That's kind of our mods within the community. Nice. We're there to help even outside of games, kind of thing. All right. So to get us back on track to something a little bit lighter, I'm glad you wore your KDQ jersey tonight. So I see KDQ kind of going through X, Twitter, whatever the hell Elon wants to call it this week.
Nah, what we call it is Twitter.
Yeah, no. Right. X.
So give us some backstory on KDQ and kind of what you guys do. And I know you're sponsored by them, right?
Yeah. So what happened is that I used to be with a different team prior to KDQ. I used to be with AXL. I will say shout outs to, I know this is a little bit derailing, but shout outs to Alicia for accepting me and being on her team first. And also shout outs for you beating cancer, because that shit's not easy. So there you go.
Hey, we got to give shout outs,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Boy in the chat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris
went through
that's
it.
Right. That's right. You too. You
scary.
too.
One of the scariest conversations I think I've ever had in my relationship.
That's right.
With Chris.
I forgot.
Because it was just like, bro, I don't want to lose my dude. And like, it was just.
Yeah, I was kind
of like, no, for the longest time, man.
I got diagnosed on the 1st of April. I'm over here calling people, and they're like, "This ain't a joke." I'm like, "I don't make April Fool's jokes, but you still gotta question it." My mom was like, "This ain't no joke," right? I'm like, "I wouldn't joke about this, but also I understand you have to question that."
Yeah, absolutely. But KDQ, as you know, esports team. You probably know Rec. Rec is one of the originals there, as well as Duo. He's there as well. And, we're just a group of people that love to play some games as well, mainly fighting games. We happen to have quite a few people that are diverse in said games. Like we have a couple people that play Virtua Fighter. We have some that play, I believe, Grand Blue. You have me that plays Street Fighter, and Soul Calibur, obviously. And then we have some that actually commentate, like Iambic. She actually is a part of KDQ, and she commentates a lot of Tekken. And again, we're just an esports group. We like to go ahead and try to hop in and beat some ass. Oh, and our newest member, one of our newest members, happens to be my son, Panglox.
And like low key underrated, majority of the members are black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like not all of them, but majority of the members are black. Yeah. And because I remember specifically when we was getting a lot of hate for Iambic being on the Tekken World Tour commentary over some old heads who had kind of phased out or whatever. I'm not going to name no names because I don't want to start no beef, but I remember the Twitter
I know
beef
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I saw that whole thread and I'm like, why? Like, let other people have a shot at it, man. Like, I get that
gatekeeping the
you're
FGC
older.
is weird though. Like, because like I've gone to like tournaments and you see a lot of like those higher kind of players. It's very like clicky kind of thing. Where like those high. I mean, I get it. They travel the most. They see each other a ton.
But still,
it makes sense. But yeah, it like people. No one wants to give up their spot. There's only so many, especially if you are specific to a game like Tekken, where you have the only kind of prestige spots in Tekken these days are the World Tour spots. There's not, I mean, COVID killed a lot, as we talked about in the past. COVID killed a lot of places that might have been like regionals or bigger tournaments, and now
Soul Calibur was one of them. Soul
So
Calibur got killed. The World Tour got killed by COVID, and I was devastated. I was so sad because I was ready. Oh, I was ready. But yeah, man, like I said, I mean, KDQ, go ahead and check us out. We're on Twitter.
Killers don't quit, right?
Yeah, Killers don't. Yeah, that's a matter of fact. That's what it stands for. Killers don't quit. But yeah,
I'm good friends with Marcus. Marcus lives out here in Texas with me.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a little bit. He moved out here a few years ago. Yeah. So we got some ideas too for some behind the scenes stuff. We just been busy with life. We're trying to get together to have a big ass tournament out here in the DFW area because DFW is huge.
Shout out to the DFW guys.
Some more like, I mean, that's kind of what my idea for like the FGC side of things of moonmarauders was like, I know there's other servers, but I feel like a lot of servers are also very like region based or state based. Like, oh, Colorado has a server. Oh, Arizona has a server. New Mexico. And my kind of idea with moonmarauders was to basically get us all together.
Unite.
Yeah. And do some shit together because like, bro, I'm tired of fucking everything being in New York and Cali and Philly area. Like,
I agree.
The United States is huge, bro. Like, we don't have to keep meeting in two spots.
Right. It isn't like we're gonna fucking have the tournaments like in Montana or fucking Idaho or some shit.
Right.
Oh, God,
so that's what we were fucking.
And we ain't trying to die.
Texas is very centralized, like centralized in the sense of like middle of the United States. And like we felt like it was a good meeting spot. So I'll make sure Marcus sees this. I'll fucking ping his ass and because I need to get with you guys too because I want to actually do a little exhibition set with KDQ versus moonmarauders, where we maybe we get some 5v5 action going.
Well, I'm all about that, and that Dominic will be all about that.
Yeah, I mean it would be great for moonmarauders to put a hurting on a father-son duo and send their asses to space because
Man, that it still breaks my heart about what happened with Bromance.
Oh, don't worry, it's not dead.
No, he knows what happened.
Yeah.
I had to ground my son from Bromance and play in tournaments because of his school. So grades.
Speaking of your son and you playing at the same time, bro, I can't have you walking around with a fire ass setup. And then when y'all play in a tournament together, y'all playing each other locally and then reporting matches to us.
Yeah, look at you can't be over here. Look at the lighting in this man. Look at that mic setup. Look at the headset. Look at that chair. Look at he's sitting here in 4K with the I think you get the A6400. Is that what you're shooting with right now?
That A6000.
See,
With
over
the
here,
Sigma,
A6000.
Sigma's 1.4 lens.
See,
Sigma lens.
exactly 1.4.
Yeah.
Look at that man
Yeah.
shooting wide open right now. You can see the blurry
Yep.
background. And
Yep.
Dom, you better get Dom a PS5, bro. You better get him a PS5 over here talking about, hold on, my dad's playing.
Well, the thing is, the PS5. I mean, I could connect it to it somewhere else, but you know that PC's the way to go when it comes to shit now. You know that. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
looking to get
you
him a
gotta get
gaming
his side.
laptop.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get him a gaming
Alright.
laptop.
For y'all
I
that don't
agree.
know, we had a tournament, and in the tournament, CJ was matched up against his son in the bracket. So they had to play their matchup offline locally against each other and then report their matchup after. We tried to stream it. It was a stream match, and it was just
Yeah, we tried to stream it through Discord. It did not turn out well.
Well, that was because my Discord was fucking up, and then my Twitch was fucking up.
Yeah,
and I'm
Discord
like, I have
streaming through
no
Discord
idea.
is always a blow
I
up.
never thought I'd have to make a ruling in the rules moving forward saying you cannot play your matches offline if you live in the same house.
Bullshit. But shout outs to KDQ. I know that I haven't been chatting with all of them as much. I've been really busy with work. I work 4/10s. I get Wednesdays off. I get weekends off. But I've just been real busy with life. And, I mean, being a parent, being a single parent at that, Dominic starts high school. Darius just graduated. And I work. So it's just been one of those things where I get on Twitter. I see crazy shit like fucking hot Tua girl. And then I get off.
What I thought we would not cover tonight is Hawk Tua girl. That is for fucking sure.
Oh my god, we had so many Hawk Tua teams at Jazzy Finale.
Oh, I'm sure.
I had no idea what this was. Like, I see this shit on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this girl, like, you know that she's right." And I was like, "Who the hell is this girl?" I had no idea what's going on. And then someone's like, "Hawk Tua," so then I just typed in Hawk Tua for a search engine. And then
be careful when you type that in.
Right. So don't do it. Don't do that. So
CJ was just in SBO recently, and you got to play Justin. And I'm gonna be honest, I think Justin was kind of morally defeated after you put hands on him a bit. So I'm hoping to get you on SBO again.
Hey, I'm down for a main event actually, and now that you mentioned that, hey Shogun, I'm calling you out.
Oh, the first official call out. Things are getting spicy.
Oh, he said call out.
Yeah, I want to call him out.
Oh,
This
we
is
clipped
good
it.
because
There
I
you go.
want to speak to SBO a little bit. So I have a couple of ideas that we're gonna have basically moving forward. So from now on, SBO is going to be a character lock set. So whenever you decide to play an SBO, this is not just speaking to CJ. This is just in general.
All right.
Because we're trying to make this almost like a boxing undercard main event or UFC type of thing, and you sign up, you play, you must play your character for that entire first to 5 set.
Okay.
I'm going to increase the main card to first to 7 instead. And we are actually going to be putting up money for the main cards as well. It's just going to be gift cards. That way we don't have to worry about
Taxes and all that cash and
all that fun stuff.
People trying to jump in just for get the money, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, it's just going to be gift cards to like Steam or PlayStation, Switch, whatever the hell you want to play on.
Nice,
I don't care.
Nice.
So I would love to get you and John in a setup. I think that would be super
I think
fire.
after last week, that our last SBO, that makes a lot of sense. They both smoked their competition with 5-0s, so it definitely makes sense for them to come in through, give us a little Wild of Fury action.
I'm down for it because that man was playing on Hitbox. Yo, why the fuck were you going to Hitbox for? You know damn well that you don't want to play on no Hitbox, Shogun. When he said he went back to Stick, I said welcome back.
I don't think you saw Chris and I's comments on Twitter.
What'd you say?
It was just like Mace welcome back gifts everywhere. Like,
and I just said welcome back, and I was like good. So, but I want to actually call him out for this first to 7.
All right, we can do that. I think what we're going to end up doing is because EVO is July 19th this year, so it's a little bit earlier than usual. So the next SBO I'm thinking is either going to be July 26th or August 2nd.
I'm down for
and the
either
reason
one.
is we just want it to be after EVO because I know people kind of get into those EVO grind
Yep.
you know, mindsets, and they're trying
Yeah.
their best to prep for it type
Trying
of
to save,
thing.
trying to
and-
save
Yep.
that shit for nationals. They don't want to be all on stream, throwing all
Yeah.
their
Yep.
the best tech.
So we're gonna do it after Evo.
Okay.
I do got to get a few more matches, so I think
Okay.
we just I'll get with Shogun, but I think we just settled on our main event. I think that'd be super hype. I think it'll be a good set.
Yep.
I agree. I'd like to get Chris in there again. I really want to see him with the run back with
Oh,
Jamar.
you're next. Oh, you're next.
Oh, he said you're next.
You're next. I owe you. I owe you.
To stop putting side money on this shit because I ain't gonna have KDQ in here just coming through and taking money. So you know I got my boy Chris. So
Man,
All right.
his cam was hard. And
Season
I
2,
like that
baby.
matchup.
You okay? We can do a little
I like
season
that
2.
matchup. It's hard. It's hard.
yeah, I think that'll be hype.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get some stuff going on the side. I also want to get some more out of state people. We just linked up with
Yeah.
Arizona. That was really
I
cool. We had
mean-
Arizona versus Half Row.
Mm.
And that set was awesome. Half went up, you know, early 3-0, and then, you know, X Button came back to win it 5-3, I believe it was.
Yeah, I
And
think he was
just-
up. Yeah, he was up 3-1, and then he just ran it 4 straight, I think. And Arizona
talk
has
a-
some strong players. I personally
Yeah.
know another Cammy out there in Arizona named Moss, who I think is consistently in the
Hold on.
1900s
Are you
to
talking about
legendary.
Moss
Moss
HD?
Yeah, Moss HD.
Oh,
He-
shit. Yeah,
yeah.
I play him all the time in ranked.
Yeah, he's Arizona. We used to play
didn't
each
know
other.
he was Arizona.
Yeah, we used to play each other in 5 a ton, and so that's
Nice.
how I we started talking because we run into each other in ranked all the time, and we go back and forth. And in 6, I'm like, is that the same person? Because in 5 he was just Moss. And
Right.
6 he's Moss HD, and I was like, is that the same person? And he never posted on Twitter, but it said Arizona. I reached out to some Arizona people, and it's like, yep, that's him. And it went because we used to go back and forth in 5 and 6. Man, it's
Yeah.
been rough. I think I beat him like 2-3 sets in rank, so I do need to hit him up. We're friends on the game, but I haven't been hitting him up because I don't like
Yeah,
to
we
be
gotta
interrupting
get-
people's ranks. But
Yeah.
he's consistently
Moss will be fire. I'd love to get,
consistently
you
like
know, my boy
1900 to their
Driftwood.
legend range. So
oh,
you know he
man, I
nice.
haven't heard that name in a hot minute.
Yeah, you know,
Driftwood?
Driftwood is what got me into AZ. Well, Driftwood and Blackout David, of course, is, you know, David lived there for a bit and came back, and then, you know, I'm a character loyalist, so you find somebody that
Fei
plays my
Long.
character, and I'm
Fei
there. bro.
Long.
And,
Fei
you
Long,
know,
right?
Yep. And
Yep.
what they
Yep.
came out
I never
here.
forget.
No one comes out here. They came out here. Came out to the Springs.
Yeah.
Let alone comes out here.
Yep.
Period. They came out to the
Yeah.
Springs and
he gave us
and
hospitality when we came out there, and I think we could
remember
get some
that.
shit popping with
That's still,
Arizona, and I know Jamar said Nebraska's hungry too.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yep,
Nebraska.
we're still trying to play in that 5v5. We just gotta figure
I
out what we
still
want
have
to, what
those
the dates are.
photos from that event where Driftwood was here. I still have all those photos,
Nice.
all of
Yeah.
them.
he came through and just took all of our money. I don't
Yeah,
think he
he
dropped
did.
a single match.
Yeah.
I think he lost to Garrett one match, like,
It was
ended up beating
finals
him
with
2-1.
Garrett, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He just came through and just was like taking all
Yeah.
y'all's money.
You know what's crazy? When we were here, I mean, Garrett's always been a homie, but to be over here rooting for Garrett because he smoked everyone in Colorado, we're over here
Yeah.
rooting for Garrett. I'm like, all right, Garrett's a homie and he plays Viper. Let's go. And you still.
Yep.
Yeah,
Some
you know,
good
I was going
assets.
for my boy Driftwood. I got real close with Nick for a bit, and he was running tournaments.
Yeah.
And I remember we went out there, and he gave us hospitality. We had a great time. I remember
That's
we,
awesome,
I
man.
think we got him the Monte Cristo,
Yeah, we got him
the gift for
the
the
gift.
hospitality.
And it was back. That was
Nice.
back before it was commonplace to get like the overnight or same day deliveries and Amazon. And they just happened to have it there. He just happened to mention his favorite book, and they had a nice gift hard copy on Amazon. So we literally ordered it for him. By the time we got to the airport, it had been delivered. He was like, "What the fuck you got?" But Arizona, man, like that was so funny to be like such a sudden, like kind of more or less random trip, and to be what it was. Like, bro, I'm not as close as I am to Ryan if we don't take that trip.
Yeah,
That's
like,
awesome.
that's FGC, man.
Yep.
So, and I just linked up with X Button and I think his name was Schoberg or Swine City, one of the two. And I know they're trying to run some stuff too. So I think I want to get some out of state talent on the card,
Yeah.
but I do think some CJ versus Shogun main event sounds fire.
I think.
And
I mean,
know,
if we got a CJ in the card, you know what we gotta do. Maybe someone needs to challenge little Panglocks over here for undercard.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, don't be afraid, guys. He's only 13. Don't be afraid.
Be afraid. He's
I'm just
13. That means he's got time, bro.
I'm not trying to hog the spotlight. So if anyone wants in, we play. I mean, me and Dom play all the time, so it's not quite the same. So
Yeah.
if anyone thinks they got it, you know, you just see my man. Maybe he'll do it before he gets character locked. Let's see if he can handle his random select.
Because I'll tell you right now, never DI him. You can't. You can't. I don't even
13.
DI.
All right, we're almost at the hour mark already, which is crazy, to
Crazy.
believe. We have a few
then
more
let's do it.
questions, so we're gonna be a little bit
Yeah.
over an hour.
That's
So I think this is a kind of a cool question that I like to have with people, and the question is what do you feel like your proudest achievement is within like FGC or just gaming in general? I know you got to meet Tony Hawk, didn't you?
Oh man, I met a lot of people. I met Tony Hawk. Gosh, who else have I met? Jesus. I mean, dude, are you talking about like just a proudest achievement? Does it have to be gaming or
It
is
doesn't have
it
to be gaming.
anything?
It could shit. You could. I mean,
Oh,
you could go
shit,
the
man.
easy route and go my sons.
Yeah, it's 100%, 100%. I mean, it's one of those things to where, you know, being a parent is that's the real matchup.
Yeah.
Being a parent, that's the real matchup. I mean, you got bills, then you got, you know, kids to take care of, and in school, and then all types of stuff. But the proudest achievement is being a dad, and see my kids grow up, because it's one of those things where as you do get older, you value your time a lot more,
Mhm.
and you appreciate a lot of the things that you didn't before. You start to appreciate them now.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you see your kids grow up, and it's so fast. It's like, I remember changing Darius's diaper, like in the hospital. Now he's turning 19 next week. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's insane. And
Well,
then
that's what they say too. Like, so when I do freelance work, a buddy of mine taught me in a lesson, and it was basically like, you're not getting paid for your skills. You're getting paid for your time,
right,
kind of thing. So when you're talking about
Right.
your time as you get older and how more valuable it is, and that's what it
Mhm.
is, because you're like, if I'm taking time out of my day to do this, it better be important, kind of thing. So
Exactly. But I mean, that is definitely the pinnacle of the proudest achievement. Another achievement is just being able to, you know, go overseas. Like I went to London because I won a tournament. I think that's a huge accomplishment for me, because
Oh yeah.
traveling is expensive,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
especially going overseas. And I met Ryan Hart at that time.
nice.
You know, that was one of the biggest achievements ever. I know this, again, it's a little bit off topic, but being able to meet Stan Lee, I've always wanted to meet Stan Lee. I was sad that one year he wasn't able to make it to Comic Con, but then he ends up being here. He signs my jersey, he signs my lithograph, and then I get J. Scott Campbell to still sign the lithograph too, because he's the one who drew it. And that was just one of my proudest achievements as well. And then obviously, winning my first tournament. I will say that's a huge achievement. And you know, I mean, just I really don't have much. I mean, I'm just
Scott
happy
Campbell
to
is
be here.
actually my favorite Spider-Man artist.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a signed lithograph. It's fucking huge. It's like
Yeah,
this
I got a
big.
couple of signed comics of his for Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I got him and Stan Lee to sign the shit. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Chris,
But,
what would you say is your proudest achievement?
yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little tough.
it is. It's a hard question.
Yeah, let me think, because I don't. It's hard to say.
I think I have it off the top. I've never won a tournament. Actually, I take that back. I won NDK one year. Nobody was really there. But
I don't have
goddamn
like
it, I
any
won.
Hey,
big.
a win is
yeah.
a win. It doesn't matter.
Like I don't
who's
have any
there.
big wins. Like if I think about the closest I have to that is gonna be like that. I forget what tournament it was where I won Street Fighter 4 and John was there and I had to beat John to win it, and that felt like a real accomplishment because I was like, I don't care if 72B or whoever wasn't here, the person who's been winning, I had to beat them to get it, and that felt good. But as outside of that, it's hard to like. I don't know if I have anything where like a crowning like fighting game achievement really. I've definitely I've got some wins that I'm proud of, but I don't think I have like the win, which is actually what I've been playing six so much recently, is because I feel like I don't have a win in the game that everyone's playing. I have some wins in like Blaze Blue or like
Grand Blue.
like I won Grand Blue, and yes, people are
Man,
playing
that comeback was something else,
like,
bro. Not to get off topic, but holy shit, I watched that, man. That was
yeah.
fucking epic.
So like yeah, like I felt really good about that, especially because I beat the dude
Yeah.
who I beat. One played a character I was not familiar with, and literally like no one plays. But
And
also
dude, he's the one that put you in losers.
he put me in losers, and it was literally
Right.
because again he plays a character no one plays.
Okay.
So I blocked the super, but I didn't know how to punish it, and that's literally why he put me in losers because I was up 1-0, and that would have, if I had punished it properly, it would have been 2-0 me. So the fact that I came back and basically learning the matchup then was awesome. But also he's the one who had been winning all of the monthlies.
Yeah.
So
Oh man,
I
the
beat the guy
salt
who was
on that
winning
face when you beat him, dog. Trust me, I was
Oh,
there.
that
was
felt good for
there.
sure, but also I want that feeling. That's why I've been playing so much Six lately, is because I don't have a win like that in the main game that everyone's playing. It's always been like I got that in Guilty Gear, which again Strive was pretty popular, but it's not the same. I had that in Guilty Gear. I've had that like in Dragon Ball, some Blaze, like the anime games, but I don't
Yeah.
have that in Street Fighter, so I want that. That's why I've been playing so much
Me
Six
too.
lately, is because I want a win in the game that this is the game everyone's touching right now. I
Yep.
want that. So outside of that, like when it comes to, I don't have it yet, and I think that's why I've been
Yeah.
playing so much, which is funny because you think at this point, literally next month for me will be 20 years. I turn 38 next month. I've been doing this since I was 18.
38.
This is, and I like so I'm still here as a competitor, wanting to
Like, go
wanting to
crack,
get better. So
Yeah,
I
think
think
my
that's
proudest
fun.
moment is
Yeah. What about you, man?
I think mine honestly is just meeting all you guys because like but that's why like FGC is just so special to me because like no joke, some of my best friends in my life I met through fighting games kind of thing. And like I just remember like going and just being like cuz I am an like my wife never believes me. Cuz I say I'm an introverted extrovert. And what I mean by that is like if I'm with people or and I'm in a surrounding that I'm comfortable with, I'm fine. But trying to get to that point, I have a hard time with. So like I play a card game called Flesh and Blood, and or even like FGC stuff out here. I have yet to see what like the DFW FGC is really because I have a hard time getting past that initial like fear to go and see what it's like and meet new people kind of thing. And then once I meet them, I'm fine. But it's getting to that point that I have a hard time with. So like
Understandable.
I remember like starting FGC in Colorado and I met Chris and then like I remember going to your house one time, CJ, and like we were just playing games in the basement and it was just like all the fighting games on the wall and it was like we were just down there playing games and to me
Yeah.
that was like we're like I can't remember what it was called, like Pixel Bash or some shit like that. And we were all up in Denver at Pixel's place playing. Those
Yeah,
things like I remember
Pixel.
was like that was just I have memories that because like I was not good, but just going and like
Doing it.
stepping out, kind of
Yeah.
thing to get into that phase. And that's basically gotten me to the point now where like Marauders, where like I'm comfortable going
Yeah.
to do this. And that's
That's
what I'm
cool.
trying to accomplish with Marauders is I don't want people to feel intimidated. I want people to feel welcome. I want them to come in the Marauders and have questions and want to run sets and shit like that. Like that's what
awesome.
like FGC and just video games in general. Like
Yeah.
because I feel like since us being a little bit older, we came from like the times where it wasn't like accepted to play games or be a comic book person or
Right.
anime or manga or stuff like that. And it was just like to
You're a
get to
nerd
that
for doing
point,
that. Why are you
Right.
doing that? It's never going to be successful. You're
Yeah.
never going to get anywhere playing video games. Now look at us.
Yeah, and now it's like
everyone
people-
show off your various.
yeah.
Got Bayonetta here.
There
Got Big
you
Hill
go.
Six all over here. So
So
there you
So
go.
that's honestly like one of my proudest achievements because like I wouldn't even have met my wife without it because she worked in a video game store with Nick and like Nick's one of my best friends and like I used to just
Right.
shop at his store and she was
Yeah.
there and like that's how we became friends first and like video games to me are not just a hobby. Like
It's
I
a
mean, this is
lifestyle.
literally a lifestyle
Bro,
kind of thing.
like
Yeah.
I said, I just came back from Jazzy Finale and shooting that all weekend, and like that's people I legit met, talked to, whatever you want to talk to on the internet when I was 18 years old, and we're still talking to this day. Some of them I've met multiple times throughout the year. Some of them.
That's awesome.
Last year was the first time I've met them in person.
Yeah.
There's a person whose name I knew from SRK who showed up this
Oh, I
year,
miss
and I was like, oh,
Jesus.
I didn't even know he was black.
That's awesome.
And I was like,
Awesome.
and to be like, yeah, there are people here. There was a dude last year, the guy who did really well, ended up I think get second place, who told me literally he used to watch my YouTube videos when he was on the train to school, to high school in New York.
That's awesome,
And so
man.
there's like, I legit have one person I consider a friend who I have not met through fighting games. Like every other person in my life who is close to me is strictly because of fighting games. So like that, so it still amazes me sometimes that I've been doing this so long and it means as much as it does, and I still make time to do it when you have life and bills and stuff like that, and I'm still doing that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like I couldn't even, I don't even know, I can't even be, get my I can't even get my Michelle Yao on and tilt my head and look over to see, because I have legit no clue what my life would be like
Yeah.
if I went for fighting games. I have nothing. Like maybe
Yeah.
I'd still be skateboarding. I don't know. That's all I
Yeah.
got. That's
I'm just trying
legit
to
all I
decide
got.
if I'm gonna play They Reminisce for this time, or Oh How the Years Go By. All right, we're at an hour 10 mark, so I don't have any more questions, but I do have I have one more question,
Oh,
but it's
I
just
think
for
I know
CJ.
Yep.
Well, your proudest achievement is your kids.
Oh
So
shit.
you
Here
know
it
the
comes.
question I gotta ask is, so you lose to your son yet?
Only when I let him.
He's gonna be
No,
he's
I'm
gonna be
honest
scary in a
with
few
you.
years.
I'm
Like
going to be honest with you. I honestly thought that Dominic would play Street Fighter 6 and stop the next day. But I knew the kid had drive because he saw me play it. And the first question he asked me is that, Dad, can I play Street Fighter 6? I was like, now, do you want to play Street Fighter 6? Or do you really want to play
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6? And he's like, Dad, I really want to play it. I busted out the old Mad Catz freaking TE2. I was like,
I can't tell you how many times we've talked about that damn stick on this podcast, bro.
Yep, I'm telling you, dog. It was like, had to take the dust and dust it off. And I said, go ahead and learn. I'm proud of him because you know what he said? The very first thing my son said was, Dad, I'm hitting all 6 buttons and it's not working the way it's supposed to. It was on modern. He wanted to go classic. Kids never played modern in his life.
I get it.
First fighting game, mind you. First fighting game ever. This kid comes from a fucking background of Fortnite and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Street Fighter is his first game. And people don't believe me. One person that didn't believe me, or anybody, believe it or not, is Punk. Punk did not believe that Panglox is 13. There was one stream where he lost to Dom, and they were like, yeah, he's 13. He was like, no, man, he ain't 13. This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. You know how that is.
I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if you know this, but like, I really do think he should drop the Panglox name and he should just be PG-13. Because I feel like that name is fire.
no,
Yeah, exactly.
because then
But
he's
the
gonna
thing
turn
is,
14,
though,
bro.
yeah,
You
he
gonna
turns
you gonna
14
change
in
it every year?
September.
You're right.
You gonna
That's
change?
right.
No, you gonna change it every year?
Like he turned 14 in September. So, but yeah,
I totally get it. We have an arcade actually down the street from our house. And it's like you pay like $12 or something. You could play all day.
Nice.
And one day we took the kids there, and like that's the first time Miles has played fighting games with
Yeah.
me. And we left, and he was like, I want to learn some fighting games. And I was like, I wanted to shed a tear, bro. I was like,
I know, like when Dominic said it, like straight up, because I was just playing the game, and he said, Dad, I want to play Street Fighter. Time's fucking stopped. I was like, and I just looked at him. I was like, it is time.
He's gonna be scary. Like give him like 2-3 years to learn proper neutral, and to learn how to like change his own habits, and it's gonna be a problem. Because
Yeah,
that's
big
literally
problem.
his only issue right
treat him
now.
like Kratos when you were training him.
Thing
You're just
is,
like, boy.
funny thing is, I didn't train him. He didn't want me to.
Damn.
He learned this game 100% by himself. I gave him little pointers and shit, maybe. But other than that, like combos and subs, like he does Hell Stab to level 2 better than I do. He never drops it. I drop it. You know,
Fair.
and it's crazy to when I'm playing the game, he will actually analyze the match and be like, well, Dad, you could have did this. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, shit, you're right. I could have done this. And it's crazy that's coming from a 13-year-old. You know, back when we were 13, we didn't have this shit.
Nope. When I was 13,
we
I
were
had.
13, we didn't have the internet, bro.
When I was 13, I had Street Fighter 2 CE on the Sega Genesis. I was pressing start to get kick buttons.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, we didn't have any of
that
this shit, bro.
Yeah, but you know, shout outs to Panglock. Shout outs to both of my boys. Again, my oldest is 19, well, soon to be 19 now. He really doesn't play. Dominic, though, I'm telling everyone out there, you think that that you're a badass and you're not afraid to play a 13-year-old, give him a shout. I'm down to.
And it's summertime, bro. It's summertime, so he got time.
From me. Yeah, it is not coming from me, that's for sure.
It's summertime, so he got time right now.
Yeah, he has that unemployment power up.
Yeah.
That's weird. I had a conversation with my son because he was like, "Bro, I'm so fire at FPS and I'm much better than you." And I'm like, "Dog, you go to school and that's it. Like, you don't have real worries. I get it. You're good."
Right. But then take him to like GoldenEye and see how well he does, or Halo. Beat his ass. Beat his ass.
All right, guys. We're over time. It was a pleasure you joining us tonight, CJ.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it. Want to give a shout out to you guys, first of all, for having me again on the show. You guys have come a long way from, I remember the chamber days.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this. Again, I appreciate it. Shout outs to my boys. Shout outs to the FGC, man. I mean, again, I may not be around as much, but I mean, that doesn't mean I don't think about you guys. And I mean, once that torch is passed over to Dominic, I'll be in the one cheering for him. I won't be playing as much, but you know, again, shout outs to all of you. Shout outs to my amazing girlfriend. You know, thank you for being supportive. And yeah, just, you know, stay positive. You never know what people are going through. And keep your head up. That's all I got.
I'll let Chris send us off.
What about peace? Peace. Oh, my mouse fell off. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait, my
All right, we can edit this out.
Oh, no. I got a little
No, you should actually
blooper reel.
like,
We leave this in.
afterwards,
What
like,
about, yeah.
all